Okay, everyone. So I have here my client. Her name is Zahra, and she has very kindly agreed to do this audio testimonial with me to share with you her experience of being a private client of mine, her experience of receiving coaching from me, and her experience of going through my course, Confident Marital Sex. And she's agreed to do this with you to inspire you because she has now overcome vaginismus through joining my program. And so hopefully when you listen to her story, it will inspire you that you are also able to overcome vaginismus and inspire you to get in touch with me if you're interested in joining my program too. So welcome, Zahra. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Thank you so much for having me, Amira.
Thank you. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you is, what was your life like before joining my program? So you had vaginismus, and if you think back to going through vaginismus before you even got to know me, before you joined my program, what was your life like and what was your marriage like?
So before I know what vaginismus is, I was thinking that I'm the only one in the world to go through this, and I felt like a failure because I can't do the simplest thing that people do it very easily and do it with pleasure, you know. And I had my friends and relatives who did it in the first night. I was always blaming myself for not being able to do this. I was so depressed. No matter what I achieved in other parts of my life, I wasn't happy. You know, I had always had this in the back of my head that I can't have sex. And I couldn't ask for help because of shame. And, you know, I have never heard of anyone going through this before. So what would they think of me if I speak about my problem? And I didn't know that I have vaginismus. I didn't know the term vaginismus. So one day God sent me the answer, and I saw your video on YouTube, and you were exactly explaining what I'm going through. So I got very, very excited. I finally saw that someone has been through this and overcame it. So it gave me a lot of hope. And you know, I saw that you are on Instagram. Then I searched your name on Instagram, and I saw that you are doing an online training. But I thought for me to have sex, I need to do surgery and to remove my hymen and my vagina whole big. So I didn't know anything about the dilators. I have searched vaginismus in other websites, and I saw that there are centers who help women to overcome vaginismus, but they honestly didn't show how. And so I was always thinking that they are doing surgery. So when I saw your program that you are helping women to overcome vaginismus with dilators, and however, I still contacted some of these centers, but I saw that their fees are very, very expensive. Despite that, I have to travel to a very far country where I need accommodation. I need flight tickets and other expenses. And then there were COVID-19 and travel ban. One day I accidentally checked your Instagram, and I saw that you are doing a webinar. So I registered directly and joined the webinar, and I saw that you helped many women overcome vaginismus. So it was very, very hopeful for me, and I didn't have to travel and doing all of these costs. I can do it at the comfort of my home, and I need the timing is very flexible. I can do it anytime that I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So after the webinar, I contacted you directly, and you answered me, and you offered me a 30-minute call to discuss my problem. It was amazing, and it gave me so much hope and I was sure that I wanted to do this and I can overcome this.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I remember that call. It feels like it was just yesterday, and it was just like a few weeks ago. It wasn't that long, and you've now overcome vaginismus through my program, which is amazing. And so actually the next question I was going to ask you was, what made you join my program? But I suppose you kind of answered it, is that you didn't have to travel, you didn't have to go to other countries or other centers to get vaginismus, you didn't need to get surgery or pay for those expensive costs or for accommodation and travel. And you mentioned that obviously with COVID, it's very hard to travel to places and that sort of thing, and that my program allowed you to do it in your own time, in the comfort of your own home, but provided with that flexibility to schedule the sessions with me at your own convenience. So I think that you kind of answered that question. And also I think you mentioned that it was helpful for you to see that it was something that I went through myself, because it allows me to relate with my clients, because I personally had vaginismus myself. So I know what you're going through. I know what it feels like to live with vaginismus and how difficult it is. But I also know what it is like to get to the other side, and how happy a woman feels when she does finally overcome vaginismus, when she's finally able to have pain-free, penetrative sex with her husband. It feels amazing, because prior to that, the only experience we have when we try sex is that of pain. And so when you finally get to experience sex with your husband and it's comfortable and pleasurable and pain-free, it just feels amazing. It almost feels like too good to be true, but it is true. Is that how it feels for you?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I chose you to help me overcome this. Exactly.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for trusting me and joining my program. So on that note, I just want to ask if you could share with everyone listening, what was your experience of going through the course? So just for you to know, Zahra joined my private coaching program. For any woman who joins my private coaching program, you get access to coaching calls with me, but you also get access to my online course. It's called Confident Marital Sex. So she had both. She was able to work her way through my course, Confident Marital Sex, and she was also able to get coaching sessions with me. If you could just share with everyone what it was like going through the course and what it was like being on the coaching calls with me.
Yeah, my experience with you was amazing. I was looking at all the videos step by step in confident marital sex, and they motivated me a lot, especially I loved the affirmations I had in the Fearless Empowered Women. I have saved them in my mobile, and I was always reading these. So they were very motivated, along with other videos. Our sessions, they were amazing, and the countless advice you gave me, and you were always so kind, patient, and supportive. Honestly, this helped me a lot to progress with the dilators. I took it a bit slowly, but I was sure that I can do this with your help. It was just a matter of time. So the major key for me overcoming this was you with me while I was inserting the dilators, especially the ones that I had struggled with, like the first one. For the first time inserting something in my vagina was very difficult, but with your help, Alhamdulillah, it was so easy. You were with me step by step, and you were patient, kind. All of these. It was a big step. You taught me how to relax and slowly insert the dilators. So everything with you became very easy, Alhamdulillah. Sometimes I would feel down, and you checking on me and motivating me was of great help. I was very, very comfortable with you because you were understanding and patient.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And also we were able to privately message each other in between our sessions. So another thing that my private clients get is as I mentioned, they get the calls with me, the coaching calls with me. They get access to my course, Confident Marital Sex. But what you also get access to is the ability to privately message me at any time. If you're ever struggling with anything, you send me a message, and as soon as I see the message, I get back to you. And a lot of the time I'm checking in on you. Even if you don't message me, I will message you. If you haven't messaged me for a while, I will message you and say, what's going on? How are things going? And so you're there. I'm there as a sort of accountability person, but also there to motivate you and inspire you, and to help you every step of the way.
True. Also, sorry, I forgot to mention the Facebook group. It was amazing having all of these women sharing their progress and motivating each other.
Amazing. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for mentioning that. So another thing that you get, whether you join my course on its own, so Confident Marital Sex, if you join the course on its own, you also get access to a private Facebook group. And that private Facebook group has almost 200 members in there, 200 women. Some of those women have already overcome vaginismus. Some of those women are in the process of overcoming it. So they're on that journey. And some women are brand new. They've just recently joined the course. So you've got women from that are at different phases in their journey, and it feels really nice to be part of that supportive community, because if you're struggling with anything, you can post it in that group. Or if you don't post anything, you can just look through the different posts. You see that many times when a woman overcomes vaginismus, I do a big congratulations post. I need to do that for Zahra, post it in the group, and everyone gets to congratulate you and support you every step of the way. If you're struggling with anything, you can just post your question in the Facebook group. But even as a private client, you get access to that too. And it feels nice because as much as it's, you know, maybe great to have me as a coach, I am just one person. It's even better to have many women feeling like they are there with you, and they are women from all over the world, from different walks of life, from different religions. But it feels really nice because you don't feel like you're alone, because I know that when you have vaginismus, if you don't speak to anyone about it and it's just you and your husband that know about it, it feels very isolated, you feel very lonely. And so it's really important to surround yourself with women who are either going through the same thing or women who have already overcome it. So thank you so much for mentioning that, the Facebook group.
Yeah, it was very motivating, and I felt so released to share my progress or share my questions with them.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Zahra. So final two questions. I wondered if you could just share how you feel now. So you've finally overcome vaginismus. Just a few days ago, you were able to have sex with your husband and you weren't really expecting it. You followed my advice where I said, you know, aim for the tip, and if you can get more in, definitely allow more to go in. So you set yourself a mini goal to just allow the tip of your husband's penis to go in. And my advice is, if you manage to get the tip and if you feel relaxed, for the rest to go in, allow the rest to go in slowly and gradually. And you followed that strategy that I shared with you. And so you were just expecting the tip of the penis to go in. But because you had been practicing with dilators and you were used to getting coaching from me, you were very confident to have sex. And so the tip went in, but subhanAllah, the rest was able to go in really easily and there was no pain. It was very comfortable and you were surprised yourself because you didn't expect it. But tell me how it felt. How did it feel for you to finally have pain-free sex with your husband?
Yeah, so I wanted to take it slowly. I've been practicing with dilator number 6 for like more than a week. And I wanted to try with my husband only the tip-in, as you advised it, because I didn't want to rush it and feel disappointed. But alhamdulillah, we planned to enter only the tip. But as the tip went in, it became very smooth, and I relaxed my body, and all of the penis went inside. I was shocked, honestly. I was crying. I couldn't believe that we did it after 3 years. So we felt very, very happy and accomplished for overcoming vaginismus after 3 years of struggling. Yeah.
Amazing.
So alhamdulillah, it was amazing and it was painless. And I was very confident because we didn't expect this.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're right. So subhanAllah, thank you for reminding me that you lived with this for 3 years and you got in touch with me, I think a couple of months ago. You joined my program. We worked through it at your own pace. And it took literally weeks for you to be able to overcome vaginismus. It didn't take you years to overcome it. Even though you lived with it for 3 years, you overcame it in a matter of weeks, really, of just receiving coaching sessions with me regularly. You spent time practicing with the dilators as well. And then after you were done using the dilators, you transitioned to intercourse. And the very first time, you were able to have pain-free sex, even though you were just expecting the tip. The whole thing was able to go in. And so that is just amazing. And it just shows, the reason I'm pointing that out is because no matter how long you've lived with it, whether you've lived with vaginismus for a few months or you've lived with it for 3 years like Zahra, or you've lived with it for 15 years, because some women message me and say, I've had vaginismus for 15 years. No matter how long you've had it for, it proves to you that it is possible to overcome it when you get the right support and the right guidance, when you have the right knowledge and you have the right training and coaching. You can overcome it within a couple of months, if not a matter of weeks. It is very much possible to overcome it. And that's why I do this work, because I really believe any woman anywhere in the world, if that woman has vaginismus, she just needs the right information and the right support to overcome vaginismus. And
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
100% possible for every woman to overcome vaginismus.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel very lucky and blessed to have found you and being overcoming vaginismus with you, because it was amazing and you were with me step by step every way. And Alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful, and I recommend your program for every woman out there who are struggling with vaginismus. They can overcome this even sooner than me. Like, it's maybe, sorry.
Is my adhan. I'm going to pause the recording here 1 sec. Sorry, I just needed to pause the adhan. Sorry, Zahra, what were you saying?
So I was saying that I recommend your program to every woman who is struggling with vaginismus. It's a matter of weeks to overcome with it, because with your education and training, it will be possible and very easy, inshallah, for those who are struggling. As you mentioned, it doesn't matter how long you've had vaginismus. It's the way that you treat them matters.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I'm very passionate about this work. I really believe that Allah created sex for a reason. He wants us to enjoy it. He wants us to feel close to our spouse, close to our husband. And sex is not meant to be painful. And if it is painful, please do seek help. You don't need to put up with painful sex. You don't need to have a sexless marriage. It's important. And obviously marriage is not just about sex, and sex is not just about penetration. Penetration is one type of sex. There are many other ways to have sexual pleasure with your husband, but obviously penetrative sex is the main way for a woman to be able to get pregnant naturally. And so that's what I know, that many women who have vaginismus, they really struggle because they think that, what if I never get pregnant? What if I never overcome this and never get pregnant? So that can be a fear in and of itself, but also equally, sometimes there's a fear of, what if I never overcome this? Like, what is the risk to my marriage? Is my husband going to leave me? Like, sometimes those thoughts come, like, what if my husband doesn't stay with me? And so, I never recommend for a husband to leave his wife because of vaginismus, because vaginismus is very easily overcomable. It's possible to cure it and to treat it. But if any husbands are listening to this, it is important, if your wife is struggling with vaginismus, please be supportive and patient, because otherwise it's going to be counterproductive. It's going to put extra stress and pressure on her if you're not patient and if you're not supportive. And Alhamdulillah, Zahra's husband, I remember speaking to him briefly in our initial call. Zahra's husband was very patient and very supportive, and that's what helps. So it is very important for the husband to be patient and supportive.
Yeah, exactly. Alhamdulillah, my husband was very, very supportive all the way, but it doesn't mean that he could live with this struggle for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So I recommend that everyone who's struggling with this to seek help and do it as soon as possible, because you release a lot. You feel so happy after you have overcome this.
Yeah, 100%. And what you've just mentioned there, that when you overcome vaginismus, it does feel like that release of emotional energy. It's almost toxic to carry all of that negative emotion. You feel sad and depressed and worried and confused and anxiety and stress. All of those negative emotions are not healthy for you to live with constantly. So it is very important, like you said, to get help as soon as possible, because the sooner you overcome it, the better. You can move forward in your life, you can feel closer in your marriage, and you can look forward to the rest of your lives together.
Yeah, exactly. As I mentioned previously, I've had other achievements in my life, but I wouldn't feel 100% happy because, I had something in my mind that I can't have sex. And this is not healthy relationship not to have sex. And you can have sex other than penetrative sex, but still you can't have children if you have vaginismus.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Or you can have children natural.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I'm so happy for you, Zahra. Once again, thank you so much for
trusting
me and joining my program. You were honestly such a dream to work with, that You were always there, always, you know, responding to my messages, you know, ready to book the calls with me. You know, you weren't the type of person to come up with excuses here and there. You were committed, you were determined. So really, you were a dream to work with. And I'm really hoping that anyone listening to this is inspired to seek help, whether that be, you know, reach out to me, inquire about the programs that I offer, or reach out to other specialists in this field, other vaginismus coaches or other, you know, sex coaches or sex specialists, whoever it is. Find someone that you feel comfortable with. Zahra mentioned that when she spoke to me on the initial call, she felt comfortable with me. If you want to book a call with me to see if it's a good fit to work with me, definitely do that. And just want you to just to see in Zahra's situation that she lived with vaginismus and she has overcome it. And if she can do it, so can you. And Zahra is not the only one. I've worked with so many women, and it just shows you that this is not a one-off success story. It's amazing that Zahra was able to overcome it. And if one person can do it, so can you. But so many women have overcome vaginismus, and that proves to you that this is possible, that you can overcome it too. Thank you so much, Zahra.
Yeah,
is there anything else you wanted to share with us?
No, I just want to thank you. I can't thank you enough, honestly. I will always keep you in my prayer. You saved my marriage and my life. Honestly, thank you so much. Alhamdulillah.
You're welcome.
I am so blessed.
Alhamdulillah. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to work with you, and I'm sure that we're definitely going to stay in touch. We still have each other's numbers. We're still going to stay in touch, and inshallah, I'm looking forward to the day that you tell me that you get pregnant by Allah's will. So that would be amazing, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Zahra. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Okay, I think that I've ended it. 1 second.